Australia's top psychics told us what's coming in 2024 and it's going to be wild. I'm the kind of gal who likes to read the synopsis of a movie when I'm halfway through it. I like to know what's coming up, I like to be prepared, I am a ball of anxiety in human form. As such, there was no way I was not going to interrogate two of Australia's top psychics about exactly what to plan for as the clock struck midnight and 2023 turned into a pumpkin 2024. I spoke to Debbie Malone, a psychic medium, author, psychic detective and spiritual teacher, and David Stevens, aka David the Medium, a renowned psychic clairvoyant and medium, and I asked them the big questions, like will Meghan and Harry break up this year, which celebs are going to get knocked up, and which destinations we should book flights to ASAP, because, hard-hitting journalism. Enough from me. Here's what you came for. General vibe check for 2024. Debbie, I do see that this next 12 months is going to be a year of compassion and respect, and it's a matter of looking at the bigger picture. Worldwide there is a lot going on. We're coming into a karmic year, it's an 8-year, numerologically, and it's a time of consequences and actions. It's the time for righting wrongs and focusing on unresolved issues, because when we hit 2025, we're going into a 9-year, which is an endings year. So hopefully we settle things down before things actually blow up. I think we're starting to look on a global scale of wanting peace. David, 2024 will be quite a tough year and isn't necessarily any different from the difficulties of the past few years. In fact, global conflict and civil tension, and even health concerns, is unfortunately quite a dominant vibe and theme for the year ahead. My word for 2024 is adapt. It's all about being present in our own daily habits and what we can control at a personal level, and learning/focusing on adapting to situations that are seemingly out of our control in a collective sense. Alex Nicholson. Alex Nicholson. Weekend Editor. January 2, 2024. Share via Facebook. Share via Twitter. Share via email. Leave a comment. Listen now. Midnight, cancelled podcast. Still guilty, Kate hunted a Prince, Middleton. Still guilty, Kate hunted a Prince, Middleton. Cancelled. The spill. Meghan and Harry are donezo. Harry and Meghan, that's very interesting. I almost feel like they're together alone already, says Debbie. He's given up everything and I see that he's very torn because he can't really return to the UK, because the children are in the US, and I see he's in no man's land and I feel he's got a very sad life. David agrees, Meghan and Harry's relationship feels very energetically separated, which may translate them into separating in 2024, he says. I have predicted this from the day they got engaged. Adds Debbie, she's tightening and tightening the control over the children and I don't see that they're going to stay together long term, they will part ways. I do feel sorry for him, though, because he wants to be near the kids, but I see her actually pulling the kids away from him and controlling. And I can see that she'll spill the beans if they part ways, there's more books and she's more worried about her career than she is about the family situation. She's completely ruined it for him. He hasn't really got anywhere to go, so it's very difficult for him. I feel like he's a very sensitive young man, but I kind of feel Meghan is very much a control freak, and it's sort of got to a point now that she's pushed him away, and he was her biggest fan. It's very sad. William and Kate step up. It's the Wales family's time to shine in 2024, says Debbie. When I look at Kate and William, I can see them stepping up more in their royal roles. And I feel that he'll take the throne a lot quicker than Charles did. I don't see Charles in the throne for a long time. I feel he may have to step down due to health issues in the next 3 to 4 years. I just don't see him being there, she says. Lifestyle. 13 women try the $35 serum meant to hit refresh on your skin barrier. I just see them, maybe not crowned king and queen yet, but I do see them doing all of the royal duties as though they are the king and queen, and stepping forward. They're a really good couple, very balanced and focused. I see that Queen Camilla finds it very difficult, it's a bit too much for her now. I feel she's getting very tired. And as for a reconciliation between William and Harry? No. I wish I did see that, but I think there's too much damage towards Kate, Debbie says. Wills is very, very protective of Kate, and I think there's too much water under the bridge. There's bad news for the Kardashians. I see health issues for the Kardashian matriarchs, their grandmother MJ, says David, but this could extend to their OG friendship group, too. We could also see some devastating personal news surrounding one of the original Hollywood brat pack of the mid-2000s, being Kim K, might be her grandma, Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. Margot Robbie will welcome a daughter. I'm seeing a little girl around Margot Robbie, so we could be seeing news of a pregnancy in the next 12 to 18 months, says Debbie, adding that Margot and her husband Tom Ackerley have lovely energy. What's going on with Ed Sheeran? I feel really sad when I looked at Ed Sheeran, says Debbie. I feel a lot of sadness there, and I'm a bit worried about those two. Ed and his wife, Cherry Seaborn, seem like a really lovely couple, but I do see that there's been a lot of challenges between the two of them. Lifestyle. There are only 6 items you need to add to your wardrobe in 2024. I feel he's a lovely guy, but I feel he can be a bit of a workaholic, and maybe that's put a bit of distance, especially having 2 little bubs. I can see that's been a hard one. But if they do part ways, I feel that they will reconcile in the future. I see them coming back together, and then I see another baby, a little boy. But I do see they're on very thin ice. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, will they get hitched in 2024? The psychics are divided on this one. There could be a possible engagement there, but as much as I love them both, I just don't see them lasting, says David. Debbie had a different take. This is an interesting one because Travis Kelce is completely different to what Taylor Swift would normally go for. He's quite out there and open, and he's quite cheeky. He's on the go all the time, but he's also very sensitive. I feel sometimes though he might be a little bit much for her. I feel he might sort of spill the beans a bit too much for her. That's the only thing I sort of see being a bit of a problem. I see he's a lot of fun, but Taylor does seem to be very controlled. She likes everything managed. He could be a keeper. I can see them ending up being a more permanent item, which is good, but I don't know if the marriage side of things will come just yet. Stay tuned, 2024. A secret celeb has a baby, and a local TV star gets the flick. David mentioned an iconic celebrity female who has a baby via surrogacy even though she's in her 50s/60s, but who it is remains a mystery. A singer perhaps, he said. Debbie, meanwhile, saw a local presenter running into trouble. She didn't tell me who this was, and believe me, I asked. But I guess we'll know when it unfolds. Parents. In 2024, no one has manners. I see that a high-profile television presenter may lose their job in the new year, she says. They're that front person and having a lot of difficulties, both personally and publicly, and I even see that there are issues with their marriage. It's quite sad, and that's why I'm not mentioning their name. I feel like they're portraying that all is perfect in the world, but it's not, and I feel really sad for them. Drama for our Pollies. I was seeing a political stoush with Peter Dutton around mid-year, and I see that he could be stepping down or there's somebody else throwing their hat into the ring, says Debbie. I feel he may not be the leader of the Liberal Party within the next 12 to 18-month period. I just see him stepping away. Expect some drama in the U.S. The U.S. will likely have its most difficult year in its modern history, especially in the lead up to, and around, the presidential election in November, says David. This tension for them begins around April. We will see a lot of overt authoritarian control and domestic conflict/civil unrest, as well as the unfortunate return of mass casualty terrorism. This will also be throughout the Western world, including Australia, and not just in the U.S. China becomes an even more powerful in 2024 and may even start flexing its military muscles. Tensions with China and Taiwan will be a prominent and ongoing theme. Kazi Lives is going, nowhere, sorry. Australia, and the world, will unfortunately see a continuation of economic difficulties that won't improve in 2024, says David. Costs and supply will be big factors. There will be a continuing lack of federal and state government leadership and policy that actually helps people. Parents. I still live with my ex-husband 8 months post-split. These are the 8 rules we follow to make it work. There could be some health issues for everyone. Global health worries arise again with new illnesses that are made to be seen as causes for concern, not COVID, says David, something Debbie foresees as well. There's a lot more airborne kinds of diseases that are around, she says. More travel is on the cards. But despite cost of living pressures continuing, more illness and ongoing global issues, Debbie sees an increase in travel. Which I personally am not against at all. I'm seeing we're going to be doing more and more travel. It started in 2023, but it's going to be even bigger this year, so that's a positive thing.